R.A. Dickey. I hear teams necessarily don't want R.A. They
Really?
want they want John Neese, and the Mets are reluctant to give up John Neese as he has the more. Right now, he has a manageable contract. He's
Hmm.
obviously way younger, and he's a
Right.
lefty.
Right.
A lot of teams are skeptical of taking R.A. Dickey because of his advanced age. He's a
Hmm.
knuckleball pitcher. What are your thoughts on the availability to trade him,
Hmm.
and also that the Mets want something back. They want something
Right.
valuable. They want big pieces back. Do you think
Right.
it's do you think which do you think is the more viable way for them to approach their situation right now, as they are a team that does need talent, especially in the
For
outfield
sure.
and at catcher?
Let me tell you something. Honestly, if I were the Mets, if I was the Mets, I would trade Dickey. You know, um, there are teams out there. You know what I'm saying? I know one
Mhm.
team that has interest is the Boston Red Sox. Another
Yeah.
team that's possibly interested is the Los Angeles Dodgers. You know,
Mhm.
the reason why I would trade Dick, don't get me wrong, he's a great story. You know, coming out of City Field or whatnot, great story. You know, a winner of the Cy Young Award. You know, so he does
Mhm.
have value. Now, negative, of course, the age. You know, the knuckleball. Well, you know, I don't really have an issue with the knuckleball, only because he's not a hard thrower. You know, it's a specialized pitch. You know, you don't have to throw it that hard. So,
Yeah.
I don't
And
really think it
he
takes a
throws
lot
a
of
he
wear
throws
and
a he
tear.
throws a harder he throws a harder knuckleball than anybody else who has ever thrown it, and it
Okay.
seems to be he has control of the
Hmm.
uncontrollable pitch.
Right, right. And again, even though he throws it hard, I don't really think it takes a lot of wear and tear out of his arm, even at his advanced
Yeah.
age. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So him being 37 years old, of course that's, a little bit of a negative. But the fact that he's coming off a season in which he won a Cy Young Award, there's some value to that. There is some value. If you can get, some blue chippers, some prospects that are major league
Mhm.
ready, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And maybe a slugger, maybe, obviously it won't be a superstar, but, somebody in the 20 to 25 home run range,
Yeah.
you know, maybe. I would do it. I would definitely do it. Like I said, I really,
Mhm.
no fan wants to see, the guy that won the Cy Young Award go, but if
Yeah.
it's for the betterment of the team, why not? Why not?
Also, if Nice has more trade value, you
Mm-hmm.
sucked last year. Give him up and get a bat.
You know what? I'm kind of. He didn't suck last year. You talking about Jonathan? He didn't suck. He
I'm
had a
not saying he
so.
sucked. I said the team sucked. The
Oh,
team
okay,
sucked
okay,
last
my bad.
year.
Yeah, they did. But I think Jonathan Neese he's a good arm. He's
He
young.
does.
He's left-handed. Which is always a plus. You can never have too much left-handed starters. Left-handed pitching. So, he's young enough to straighten out his craft. I would keep him, but I would definitely trade R.A. Dickey. Because
Mhm.
let's go like this: the Mets are in a position to I guess they could pull off a pretty good deal. Because more than likely, I don't see another Cy Young Award for this guy. I don't see another 20 to 21 win season from this guy. To be honestly,
Yeah.
maybe in the double digits, maybe like a 12
15.
and yeah, 12, 12 and 15 records, something like that, whatever. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
But you have a chance to come off pretty good if you deal him.
Yeah.
People, the organization that you might trade him to will be, in love with the idea of the story and him winning the Cy Young Award. So you get some value back,
Mhm.
I would definitely look to trade him.